हरि ओम विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्न उपशान्तये। गजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तं उपास्महे। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः, भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः, स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अग्ने नयसुपधाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन मुक्तिं विधेम। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसि जायताम्, आराष्ट्रे राजन्यशूरैषव्यो दिव्याधि महारथो जायतां दुग्ध्री धेनुः ओढानड्वानासुः सप्तिः पुरन्धिर्योषा जिष्णुरथेष्ठाः सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायतां निकामे निकामेन पर्जन्यो वर्षतो फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्ताम् योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि। सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्, मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु, मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु। निराकरणमस्तु, निराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु, ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So today being Wednesday, we are just going to note down all those mantras which are clubbed under the title Punyah Vachanam, that is declaring the good day. And actually, when the Purohit comes to our house to do some divine work, he will say, Om Punyaham. Not only that, Bhavanto Bruvantu, Om Punyahamiti Bhavanto Bruvantu. So let all people say Punyaham. So it is the confirmation and agreement and blessing from all the people who join to witness the rite, Satyanarayana Vratam or Upanayanam or anything like that. So, but here we have a different set of mantras, but it is a conglomeration of all these things. And so in this Punya Vachana mantras, we have gone through a few mantras where we have made prayer to waters, apaha, agni, and all that. So we just say that we want to be cleansed up. And here I think I will just read from the second mantra, page number 200 in the Veda Mantras, Kannada script. Om Pavamanaha Suvarjanaha Pavitrena Vicharshanihi Yapota Sapuna Tuma Punantu Madeva Janaha Punantu Manavodhiya Punantu Vishwa Ayavaha Jatavedaha Pavitravatu Pavitrena Punahima Shukrena Devyadidhyatu Agne Kratva Kratugum Anu Yatte Pavitramarchishi Agne Vitatamantara Brahma Tena Punimahe Ubhabhyam Deva Savitaha Pavitrena Savena Cha Idam Brahma Punimahe. I think I have done up to this point, and now next we'll try to go with the mantras where we are just making prayer to Vaishwadevi, Agni, and Pavitra is the darbha grass. So among all yajna dravyas, the darbha is a very important one. That's what they translate it as a sacred grass. And in darbha, there are so many deities present, and they will be able to cleanse us up. In fact, if I remember, Dr. Madhupalli Raghava has written an article just on darbha only, and it is published in our Vedana Sarit as well as in our Vedaganga volumes. But that way, the darbha has got multiple functions in any ritualistic performance, and moreover, it being an enclosure is a very protective thing for the Yagnavedi also. Whenever we put those darbha grass, we say Aditenu Manyasva, Anumatenu Manyasva, Saraswatenu Manyasva, Deva Sabita Prasuva. So some mantras are there whenever you keep the darbha and water around the Yagnavedi. When we want to perform the homa, inviting all the gods and offer them the food or oblations. So that's why here it says the pavitrena vicharshanihi, that is important. And manavaha dhiya punantu. So mantras are there and rishis are there and mantradhipatis are there. So all of them also join to purify us, dhiya and vishwayavaha. And Jata Veda, Agni, is just performing the function of the Pavitras. So he will be able to purify us. So we have so many mantras referring to the Agni, Indra, and all these grades, and the mantra which we are uttering itself, the Brahmadeva, all of them have got to help us to become sanctified and purified. And now we talk about the next one is Vaisvadevi Punati Devi Agatu Yasvai Bhakvi Tanuvo Vita Prishtaha Taya Madantaha Sadhamadjeshu Vayagum Syama Patayorayinam. So the ultimate aim of our prayer and getting ourselves purified, Suddha and Putatvam, is only to become Rayinam Patayaha Syama. Vayam Rayinam Patayaha Syama. May we be the overlords or rich persons with different kinds of wealth that we can afford to. So, Rayinam Patayaha Syama. And here, Vaiswadevi Devi Punati Agat. So the Viswadevi, Ammavaru Kuda, the waters, she will come and purify any and everything that is available in our Yagnashala for the use of the performance of the Yagna. We imagine so. And Taya Madanta Sadhamadjeshu. So we are to be very much happy because of the because of the purifying and happiness and the rays of that Devi, Vaiswadevi. And ultimately what we have to become is Rayinam Patayaha. So the Rayi and Raya, that is a very symbolic and significant and pregnant word where anything connected to the promotion of our health, wealth, and prosperity is taken to be Rai. That's why in the Rama Shabda, the Rakara is there. That is Lakshmi Prapti in that. Now, Om Vaishvanaro Rasmi Bhirma Punatu Vata Pranena Eshire Pranene Shiro Mayo Bhu Java Pruthivi Payasa Payovi Rutavari Yagniye Ma Punitam. So, some more natural forces are also taken into the count, and they are all also help us to get ourselves punitam, yagniye punitam. And so, vataha pranene shiro mayo bhuh. The wind god must be mayaha is something more than the sukham, more than syam or happiness. And therefore, Ishvara, Rudra is being called also as a Mayobhavaha. Not only Sankaraya cha Mayobhavaha. So this Mayaskaraya cha also. So Maya and Sang are the two things from that. And Vataha Pranena Ishare Mayobhu. Then, so what are the instrument or the Vishayas with which the respective deities have got to interfere into our venue and our house and make the entire thing completely satisfied. So there is a kind of selection, invitation, and request for the respective gods that they all should see that Yagniye Ma Punitam. And yajna ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ we have got to have some good wealth. Therefore, that Raya is important. That's why at one other place in Rigveda, we have got a beautiful statement. Raya vayam rayas poshena. anta. See, when rayas posha were to occur to us, then we are all called lords, overlords, rayaha. The Raya Shabda has become Rao, and many people add Rao Shabda to that. And also, Rao Bahadur also became a title in Karnataka, and Rao Bahadur so and so. So that's a compliment for a number of faculties and skills and wealth that an individual possessed, and also the kind of work that person does. Therefore, here Yagniye Punitam, and for the purpose of the yagna, may we all be purified and made eligible to complete the undertaken sacrifice or work. Om Bruhadbhihi Savitastrubhihi Varshishthaihi Deva Manmabhihi. They're all small prose sentences which are all from Yajurveda taken out, and you can trace these mantras, not one mantra, but there are several mantras that have been brought into this, that is even from Taittiriya Samhita, Taittiriya Brahmana, the prose anuvakas have been taken up. So as you see that all these mantras that are clubbed here seem to be taken up from fifth kanda. Actually, as we are doing the South Taittiriya Samhita, it contains seven kandas. Among seven kandas, we have got the fifth kanda, where from they have selected this particular portion, and also they have selected from Taittiriya Brahmana Ashtaka 1, and see that the Anuvakas are being clubbed in this. So thereby you observe all these short sentences are significant enough, and they're all referring to the gods, prayer to the gods, and what they should do for us, and that is what we observe in this. So the Taittiriya Samhita has got many more purposes and vinyogas, especially connected to the sacrifice. So Manmabhihi Deva Varshishthaihi Manmabhihi Deva. So Manma is the prayer. Manmabhihi are the mantras. They and Varshishthaihi means selected powerful mantras. All mantras are powerful, no doubt, but we have a choice in them. So we always say that mantrocharana has always vibrations and effect upon the people. And bit by bit, we are asking, bit by bit, we are asking the respective gods that may they help us to become punitas, because purification is not in one matter, but it is in varied way. That's why we say, especially when we do the prana pratishtha, we get we get strength and protection. One. Number two is we try to transfer whatever energy is there in us with us. So thereby you observe that the prayer is then for miscellaneous deities, that they will be able to make us more purified. Now you see, Dakshaihi, next mantra is Agne Dakshaihi Punahima Yena Deva Apunata Yena Apo Divyam Sakaha Tena Divyena Brahmana Idam Brahma Punimahe. హలో ఏందన్నా నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను కదా కాబట్టి అండ్ ఎక్కడ బయలుదేరుతున్నావా ఐ వాంట్ టు స్పీక్ టు సర్టన్ థింగ్స్ సో దెర్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ మచ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ But we get to note down the work done by the work done by the respective gods, more so Agni. So Agni is a very important deity, uh, helpful for all other deities also. As we note down, Agni provides, brings, delivers the ahutis or food that has been marked and offered by the Yajamana with request, with manmabhi, with mantras. Therefore, Agni is a Daksha. Agni is all capable person. Agni, there are so many compliments for to describe the personality of Agni. So Dakshaihi Punahimam. And because of the Dakshatvam or capacity or capability of that great god Agni, the other gods are Apunata, Devaha Apunata Ena. Ena is the Tritiya Bhakti Ekavachana because Agni is so that he can purify any and everything in the world. So that kind of Vishwa Chaitanya Shaktitvam, Vishwa Chaitanyam is there in Agni. Therefore, of all the gods we choose. And there are large number of mantras in Rigveda and in other Vedas also. And next to Agni is Indra. Next to Indra, Agni, Indra are the Prajapati. And other gods are there, deities are there, but they're all transcendental and incidental and available only on invitation. But and they may be working to help us, but the relief is important. So it is said that Devaha Apunata Ena. The gods all got themselves relieved of their sins or commitments or that they become very happy. సో దేవతలనే సంతోషపెట్టగలటువంటి శక్తివంతుడు అగ్ని. దట్స్ వై అగ్ని సూర్య, సూర్య అగ్ని, అగ్ని అండ్ సూర్య ఆర్ విష్ణుస్. And like that, there is a kind of unification of energies, and ultimately all the unification of energy merge into Mahavishnu. So that's why Vishnu is the Antimo Devaha anta heltare. He is the final God. He is the wall. He is the wall for all gods in a sense that all people are out from Vishnu and they always return and report everything to them. So whenever problem crops up for gods, the Vishnu alone will have to work on. Therefore, so not only the Agni Deva is purifying that all gods, but also the waters. Yena apaha divi ankashaha. That's why divi apaha ena puta apunata. So even the waters, because water and Agni, depending on the contextual need, the mantras go about it. Because the other day our Satish Garut said, Agneraapaha, Apa Prithvi, Prithivya Oshadhayaha, Oshadhibhyo Annam, Annat Purushaha, Sava Esha Purushavidha. So, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ sequence. So, the sequence,
Taitariya.
I know. So, the sequence is different, order. So, in other places, they say that Apam Garbha and Apo Va Idagum Sarvam Vishwabhuta Anyapaha. And otherly, you see that the Agni is the outcome of the water. Hydroelectric projects are there. The what power we are using is only water power. And therefore, water, any wetness or dampness that touches the power get electrocuted. So you must have a double care when you are to deal with the power. So Apaha and Agni, they are so friendly that they become dangerous to us if you are trying to use that. So therefore, here, apaha ankashaha divi apunata. Ankashaha may be an installment or in all respects. So even the water is purified, the gods are purified, and Agni is a very capable person. Therefore, you observe ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ತೇನ ದಿವ್ಯೇನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ idam brahma punimhe. So even the mantras which we are using also to get purified. So the sanitation or sanctification is a common factor to any and everybody. And all the mantras tell us that unless one is Suddha and Puta, he shall not be eligible to perform the Deva Karyas. So in Ayurveda, in Agnihotra Yajna, it is said that he will be entering into water, take dip, and then when he gets out, he will say, Suddha Putaha Emi. Now that I took my bath or snanam, I come out purified, and then Puta sanctified, because you are supposed to recite some mantras, Agamarshana Snanam, where Varuna Deva is being asked, Varunopa Agamarshana, and Varuna has got to swipe out all sin that are dirt or etc. with his Apopani. The water is the hand of Varuna. So we can. So that's why the Veda Prapancham is full of knowledge which you can pick up depending upon the contextual need and understanding that you want to make. See that you become knowledgeable person. Because Veda Gnanam is a Sarvagnanatvam. Sarvatvam is called. So Vedic scholars know from the interpretational point of view anything. So that's why here you observe idam brahma punimahe. So brahma punimahe means Brahma Shabda has many meanings. So idam brahma, aham brahma, tad brahma, sarvam brahma ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ idam means whatever water with which I am doing, it is a Brahma Padartha. So the Brahma Padartha is having the capacity enough to make things purified. Therefore, idam Brahma Punimahe. So all these mantras drawn out from Taittiriya Samhita and Taittiriya Brahmana will have a separate effect upon the house, upon that. So with that I don't know. We have to imagine the purpose why the Ramakrishna editors of the mantras have gone to this section of mantras. Well, they are also very good to talk about the punyaha. That is, when all these gods are interfering, are present, are invoked here, naturally the atmosphere becomes sanctified because of the presence of all these kinds of relevant gods. Adukosra may be there, but we cannot dismiss, say that they are all irrelevant mantras, but they have some reason behind, because prayojanam anudhisya na vidwan pravartate anta ಒಂದು. Any intelligent fellow will not act until he has got a reason for that. So I think Rishibi here, idam brahma punimahe. So idam punimahe. What is that you are trying to sanctify or make it pure? Suddhatvam. That is what is Brahma. And what is that Brahma? Yah pavamanihi advaiti adyeti ऋषिभिः सम्भृतगुं रसं सर्वगुं सपूतमस्नाति सदितं मातरिस्वना पावमानीः यो अध्येति ऋषिभिः संभृतगुं रसं तस्मै सरस्वती दुहे क्षीरगुं सर्पि सर्पिः मधुदकं पावमानी स्वस्तयो स्वस्तये स्वस्तयनी सुदुघाहि पयस्वतीः ऋषिभिः संभृतो रसः. So there is that kind of origin or who make all these things and what that things that we made. So all the time there is the talk about the act of purification, and not only for the Yajamana but also for the house and for the whole content of the venue. So these are all the short sentences where you make a request, and also whatever that has been offered to them, the gods have got to accept and enjoy it. So the word adhyeti. See, yaha pavamanihi adhyeti rishibhi sambhrutagum rasam. So that's why we are all Brahmins, or Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisyas. Whenever they are sitting to take food, they are supposed to sanctify the food with some mantras. And then only they cannot see these days things have all become so hopeless and unruly. What can be done? See, as food is being served one by one, people start clearing it in their plate or in their leaf. ಸೊ ದಿ ಬಡಿಸೋವನಿಗೆ ಅನುಮಾನ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಬಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀನ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ತುಂಬ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮ? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ until all the cooked items, offered items to Paramatma, served, and they bring ultimately the ghee or clarified butter. And when abhikaroti, when abhikarakke tuppa ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ, that is the conclusion that one should take, that any and everything prepared in the prepared and menu, all that is being served, and you can start, then you will say Bhurbhuvasva. That is our system, Sanatana Dharmam, that you should offer your food to the God and sanctify it with the Gayatri mantra and encircle your plate. And then, because all this system or procedure is being marked by Rushibhihi Sambhrutagum Rasam. So the Rishis, the Rasam means the food, palatable, tasty for the Rasana. So what is Rasam? Rasana is the tongue. That is the palatable, that is being admitted, that is being appreciated, and that is being done by the Rasana, that Indriya, Rasana Indriya. That's why we make a prayer that Tvak Charnamagum Sarudhira Majja Medha Snayavosthini Me Suchantam. ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have got even Rasana Suddhi also important. That is, the tongue is one which will be the editor and ISO and officer, visa officer, and unless tongue approves, it will not get into the stomach. So the stomach health depends upon the tongue's behavior. That's why ನಾಲಿಗ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ರಸಮ್ ಅಂತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಋಷಿಭಿಹಿ, ಬೈ ಅವರ್ ಸಿಯರ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಧ್ಯೇತಿ. So the gods must always be offered the food that is being sanctified. And they sanctify the food and then give you back, because Naivedyam and Prasadam, these are the two words, and that is being explained here. Because Sarvagum sa Bhutam Asnati. So Asnati is eating. All that is being checked and confirmed and confirmed, that kind of food is all accepted. For example, the medicines that are supplied, that marketed and supplied to the people, is double tested in the laboratories and the manufacturing centers. So the drug store is there that simply gives you. There are different companies, but drug preparation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್, kind of almost similar to that of the human physiology, and they observe the reactions for some time, and then only they leave it to the society. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಡನ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್. Occupational nutritional institutes are there in Ahmedabad, in Delhi, and all places. There are biochemistry and other people there working, and they experiment the medicines upon the various animals like rats and all these things, and then they observe reactions and afterwards. So to say, before a medicine is being released, or a pure, to say that it is being rishi. Rishi means intelligent people, scientific people, trained, skilled people. They will have a good examination and testing done, and so there is a testing department, there is a manufacturing department, and ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈವನ್ ಡಿವೈನ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸರ್ವಂ ಭೂತಂ ಸಹ ಅಸ್ನಾತಿ. ಸೊ ಭೂತಂ ಸರ್ವಂ ಅಸ್ನಾತಿ, any and everything that is being completely purified, that is being consumed. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವದಿತಂ ಮಾತರಿಸ್ವನ, and that food which is being prepared, which is being purified by the rishis, and which is being cooked well by the Agni, then that particular food is being made very much tasty and sweet by the wind. Matarisvana. Matarisvana means the wind gods, Vata. So Vayu Devatas, they try to purify the that. So what food prepared by the rishis and what is being consumed, all that food is being sweetened. Swadu is being sweetened and is being tasty by Matarisvana. Matarisvana is Vayudeva. So this is up to that Matarisvana Swadeti. Look at the underneath. Purification is a big department, is a big process, and there are many more sections to see that the food is pure, confirmed, and released for the consumption. Om pavamanihi yo adhyeti rishibhihi samhrutagum rasam tasmai saraswati duhe ಕ್ಷೀರಗುಂ ಸರ್ಪಿಹಿ ಮಧೂದಕಂ ಪಾವಮಾನಿ ಸ್ವಶ್ಚಯನೀಹಿ ಸುದುಘಾಹಿ ಪಯಸ್ವತೀಹಿ ಋಷಿಭಿಃ ಸಂಭೃತೋ ರಸಃ. You observe constantly this pavamana situation, that for any and everything the rishis are important. From rishis only all good would emanate, because they are always fond of the safety, security, purity, prosperity, and the spiritual happiness to all the people. Therefore they are different. That's why you see constantly the other deities have been introduced. For example, here you got Saraswati Devi. Then we have got the uh, and waters again. So Saraswati and Vata and Vayudeva, and we have got some other deities also brought into this framework. And now you observe Saraswati Duhe, that Duhana is Dohana karma, grasping or extracting. And what is that? Whatever that has been purified by the wind god, and that is being well observed. And then Saraswati will also add the Kshiram, Sarpi, Madhu, and Udakam. So Madhu and Udakam, Sarpi. And there is nothing much more to explain here. And ultimately, Brahmane Ishtam Brahmane Shwamrutagum Hitam Brahmane Shwamrutagum Hitam Hitam Amrutam Brahmaneshu. So, whatever all this food or that is supplied is being attended to by these respective deities, and therefore all that is being allowed for consumption to Brahmaneshu. Hitam Amrutam Etat. And so here from the Veda, I think we should understand an important situation that anything that we receive in the world is always checked by the Paramatma. And also you should acknowledge the Paramatma before you take it for your personal consumption. That is our Sanatana Dharma. You cannot just accept it, but you should always say, that's why you should always say your thanks to Paramatma and then accept it. Because if you swerve from that, then there is a problem in the physical, mental, and intellectual way. And so that there will be more suffering, more differences in the run of life. But compared to the Rishi culture that we enjoyed, that we know, come to know down, they were only busy in doing tapas and observing dharma, but not attending to their body more. ऋषयः धर्म तप abhikamaha. ऋषयो dharma tapobhikamaha. So abhikama means their total desire was completing only in the desire to keep things pure, not only pure for themselves, but also pure for the others, whoever come into contact or accepting them. That's why you have in these Pavamani mantras picked up from the Yajurveda the interference of the Rishis, and Rishi culture is also being given to us apart from the mythological grandeur and mythological interference, that is the gods taking care that they are symbolically making the consumption of the food and also the atmosphere, and in the house everything becomes completely purified. So Rishibhihi Sambrito Rasaha, and Rishibhi, this is exactly a Pallavi which is being repeated, and I think we stop here and we'll continue next. Om Swasti.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ स्वस्ति ॐ वेदपुरुषाशीर्वादोऽस्तु मातृचरणानन्दस्तु what else? I have not written it.
No, I just want you to enjoy the vibrations. And that means you have to slow, not run telling. And with sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe is telling that the teacher and taught be constantly protected, avatu, by all the gods, all people, sahana avatu. And moreover, whatever fruits that come out